Hello and welcome to this week's live weekly warm-up. This week is another great week where we're going to have an exercise from the Next Generation Clarinet Method. And this one I'm really excited about, but there's actually something I'm even more excited about that I have to tell you about first because I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. So as you probably know, if you've been following me and Quick Start Clarinet at all in the recent history in the last couple weeks, I recently finished my version 2 of the Next Generation Clarinet Method. There's so many new things and so many additions that I'm really excited about, and I can't wait to see how you all implement this and get this going. So I actually created an implementation challenge that's going to be going on. So what this is basically in the Quick Start Clarinet community Facebook group. So if you're in that Facebook group watching this now, then you already probably know about it, but you're in the right spot already. If you're not a part of that group, I'll give you all the information in a minute about joining and taking part in the challenge. But what the challenge is going to be is sort of a communal thing where we get together, cheer each other on as we work our way through the method, and it's starting tomorrow. So what it is each day we're going to go through a session in the book. All the instructions are in the challenge itself, so you'll be doing one session each day for every day in September, and then by the end of that, you're going to be a better clarinetist. So if you want all of the information about getting ready to go for this challenge, it's completely free. You do need the Next Generation Clarinet Method, so if you already have that, then you're good to go. If you don't have it, you will have to get it if you want to participate in the challenge. But you can go to quickstartclarinet.com/progress for all of the information about that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I also haven't totally officially announced this yet, but there is going to be a prize at the end. It's going to basically be a prize that's made up of anybody who did the most, had the most engagement, commented the most, completed the most sessions in the group. I'm going to put all of those people into sort of a random drawing, and one person is going to get a prize. I haven't totally decided what it is. It may just be like an Amazon gift card or something like that, or it might be something more cool and maybe like some clarinet gear or something like that would be fun. I haven't totally decided, but it is probably going to be around like a $50 value. So if you are the winner of that, then that'll pay off the Next Generation Clarinet Method for you and make you a few bucks in either a gift card or something else cool. We'll see, and there will be more updates about that as we get towards the end of the challenge. But I'm really excited. I just want to make sure that as many people as possible know about this. If you want to go through this with a friend, which is a great idea, when you have some accountability and somebody else to talk to and somebody to remind you and be like, hey, did you do your session today? And fill it out and comment so you can get that $50 whatever it is. That's really fun. So send your friends to quickstartclarinet.com/progress if you want to have a buddy to go through that with as well. Okay, so that's it for the challenge. Feel free to comment with any questions about that. But now let's get on to our regularly scheduled live weekly warm-up. So like I mentioned, this one's coming from the Next Generation Clarinet Method. This is a page from the newly large printified expanded version that has a little more white space, is a little easier to read. And we're going to be doing the changing intervals long tones, and we're going to be doing this first one. This one is a great exercise. I really love this exercise. It's a little bit tricky to do in this format if you don't actually have the book yourself, because it's not a clear pattern. Almost all warm-up exercises are just like you're playing a scale and then you do this interval pattern on it or whatever it may be. These are actually intentionally not that, because the purpose of them is to experiment with different intervals, do some unusual intervals, and be moving between notes that aren't totally predictable. Now, it may be written in eighth notes, but this is actually very important that it is still a long tone exercise, and we're going to pretend basically that every note has a fermata on it so that we're playing true long tones As always with long tones, getting our very best sound on each note and working on a really smooth transition. And that's why this exercise is really great for working on those smooth transitions, because there's all kinds of weird transitions. It's not just like going up a step every single time where it's really predictable. This one you really have to sort of hear where the next note's going and really aim for it to make sure that it's really in tune and it's really sounding good. You have to know what the idiosyncrasies are of the clarinet and where you need to place each of those notes to have the very best sound right away. So I'm going to try to do this where you can really see my fingers so you can sort of follow along. I'll also hold this up one more time so that you can hopefully maybe see it. I'm not sure if it comes across mirrored or not. But you get the idea. We're in the key of G major. We're starting on G, so that'll be helpful. This could also be a good little ear training exercise for you too if you're following along. I am on my B flat clarinet, so you don't have to worry about any weird transposition or anything like that. So listen to how I do this, and also again, listen, it's really long tones. So if I hear an interval that I don't like, I'm gonna go back and fix it. I'm gonna hold each note really long until I'm really happy with the sound that I'm getting. Whew. That little 2 lines of music gets to be quite a good, nice, long tone warm up. And I can really feel like my mouth is feeling warmed up. And if you're doing that along with me, or when you do this afterwards, I'm sure you'll feel that as well. And that's the goal of the warm-ups, right? Is to really get the embouchure going, get the air going. You'll also notice that there was a lot of stuff that was repeated, like the first 2 measures repeats and then it comes back again at the end. And that sort of allows you to get, again, more comfortable with those. So like the first measure took me a lot to sort of get it really dialed into exactly where I wanted it, with my finger coordination being perfectly precise, with my sound quality being exactly how I wanted on every single note through all of those changing intervals. But then by the end, when that 2 measures came back, it was going a little bit smoother, and I was able to go through it a little bit more quickly. And again, with long tones, this is the only time that this is okay, that you can actually take your time, you can play with the rhythm a little bit. It doesn't have to be every note exactly the same length. It's every note is long enough until it sounds really good and you're able to make a smooth transition. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoy that. Yeah, Colleen says that's a good feeling to have that little embouchure burn, and I agree. That shows that you're getting stronger. It's just like working out where you feel the burn and it's a good feeling. Great, so that's this week's live weekly warm-up. I hope to see you next week, and even more exciting, I hope to see you tomorrow commenting on the first day of the Next Generation Implementation Challenge. Again, if you want all of the information about that, go to quickstartclarinet.com/progress. And I'll see you tomorrow in the challenge or next week on the next live weekly warm-up.